Hello folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. We're out here at the Avon Park Club, Air Modelers Club. We're going to take up the Hobbyzone Carbon Cub S2. Now this is the same plane. If you had the old Park Zone Sport Cub S2, it's the exact same plane as far as airframe. They've updated the electronics and a little bit better landing gear, but pretty much it's the same plane as far as airframe goes. So if you missed out on getting that old Park Zone Sport Cub S2 and you always wanted it, well, this is the plane for you. Right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down elevator, right rudder, left rudder. And I've installed the flaps on this one. Okay, so motor's on. I'm running a Spektrum 2200 smart pack in her, and wind is out of the southwest, and this field pretty much runs east to west. So here we go. Typical tail dragger, you got to be on that rudder.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
Now you can run a 2200 or a 1300 3S up to really I think a 2700 is about as big as I've ever put in there, and to me she flies a little piggish then. So really the 2200 is probably perfect. This is another one of those planes that I feel very, very comfortable with. There. Yeah, she'll fly inverted. Do a nice little knife edge here. There you go. Looks really good. That sunlight hits that silver wing. Shows up really well. And the one of the nice things about this plane is, number one, it's a very forgiving trainer, but number two, it's after a scale plane. The Carbon Cub SS in real life, not the Carbon Cub that e-flite sells, but the Carbon Cub SS actually exists as you see this plane here. It's red, I mean it's yellow and silver, and has the same exact markings. So those tires are very, very, they give a little bit of bounce to them. They're not like super hard. They do have some give. The Sport Cub S2, the Park Zone, he had big tires like on it too, but they were very hard, very, very hard. So naturally anything with a Tundra tire is going to have a little bit better of a landing in the grass. I say that and look at the bounce I had. Now this plane is all stock. As in stock prop, motor, everything. The only mod I've done is the little zip ties I put on there to keep those wheel fairings on. They're like wheel pants. They're like little skirts, and I've run some zip ties to them because they're famous for popping off. They just pop on when you get the model. They literally just pop on, and compression fit, so to speak. And oh boy, is it getting windy. Let's try to land this plane. I know that I put landing flaps in. I'm going into the wind. I don't need them. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a really short landing there. So All right, we still got 2 minutes. Let's you gotta stay on that rudder when you go to take off. Gotta stay on the rudder. She'll ground loop and stuff on you pretty quick. Might want to work a little bit. If you notice, in that turn there, my tail's kind of dragging. Well, in the wind like that, that's going to happen. So you might want to, and sometimes it does seem like the tail drags to me in an aileron turn. So you might want to work a little bit of rudder in your turns. And like I say, she's all stock, you know. So she's got, see how that tail looks like tail's dragging her? Now she's got vortex generators on the wings, so that helps with low speed handling. What that does is that air rushes over that wing. Instead of just going straight over the wing, the vortex interrupts the flow of how that air goes over the wing, giving you a little more lift, a little more control at slow speeds. Now this plane was the originally the bind and fly, and sold as the bind and fly, and it didn't have the GPS and all that in it. I don't think it did. No, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. It did have the GPS and the virtual fence and all that. And I'll be honest, I didn't like all that. To me, it's the more you complicate it, the more things can go wrong. And I just put a simple AS3XA receiver in there, and with just AS3X wind stabilization. That's all she's got. She doesn't have safe or self-level. But if you were to buy this plane and buy the bind and fly version, you know, you'd still have, you could fly it just like I'm flying it now. You just have the AS3X only, and there you go. Okay, let's take it one more time. You know, or you could have safe and self-level and all that if you want to, and make use of the virtual fence and I guess what they call loiter mode. But to me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I couldn't figure it all out. And I'm sure if I would have spent a little more time, I could have figured it all out. But I prefer to keep it simple. And there you go, folks. That is a great little plane. Now, because I don't have all that special stuff, I don't have, you know, I can't look on my trans. I don't have a smart avian ESC, so I can't look on here and see how much I have left. But anyways, motor's off. Let's just walk over. I forgot to bring my checker. I didn't put it in my pocket. So let's walk over to the bench, and you can see what I'll be flying today. I decided to make today just kind of a no drama type flight. You know, I know this channel, you can expect an airplane reviews, and to a certain extent it does, but it's also kind of my vlog, flying vlog, if you will. And this is what I'm flying today. That one, and then the e-flite, the Dynam Skytrain C47, the Twin Nova from X-Fly, and then my Retail Rescue, my Beaver, my DHC Fly Zone Beaver. Let's take a look and see how much life I have left in that battery. I'm sorry I wasn't prepared. I didn't grab my checker. So, and this is a bottom feeder. Now, if you get this plane, there'll be a little light here, and that will indicate what mode you're in. If you're in AS3X mode, or if you're in the safe mode, stabilization mode. But I don't have that, obviously. But this is where I put the 2200, basically even the front of the battery, even with the bottom of the landing gear back, and she balances just fine. And you can see these zip ties. I drilled holes in the skirt. Well, actually there's holes there already, but I ran the black zip ties through there, and that holds those skirts on, and they're not coming off. I highly recommend that as a mod, and honestly, as far as this plane goes, that is the only mod you need. If you buy the bind and fly with all that stuff, just leave it in there. Just take the time to read it and understand it. I just didn't take the time, I'll be honest with you. I didn't want to fool with it. And flew for a full 5 minutes, and I've got 5.5 minutes, and I got 59% left on a 2200 3S Smart battery. All right, folks, there you go. That is the Hobbyzone Carbon Cub S2. That is a beautiful plane. She flies really well. That's those vortex generators I was talking about. And just a great plane. I highly recommend her. She's available at Hobbyzone, at any of the Tower Hobbies, or Tower Hobbies has it. Hobbytown usually carries them for retail, and of course Horizon Hobby carries it. So there you go, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends, them planes. Bye, y'all.